Welcome back to our series on computer science. Today we're diving into a research paper with a very catchy title.
Yeah.
You cannot do that, Ben Stokes.
Okay.
Dynamically predicting shot typing cricket using a personalized deep neural network.
Wow.
It sounds like we're about to explore how AI can be used to understand and maybe even predict one of the most exciting aspects of cricket,
Right.
the batsman's choice of shot.
That's right. This research uses artificial intelligence to predict not only where a cricket ball will go, but also the batsman's intent behind each shot.
So it's not just about predicting where the ball will land, but about getting inside the batsman's head.
Exactly.
Can you explain how the researchers approached this challenge? What kind of information did they use?
Well, they use a massive amount of data.
Okay.
Think about 8 years worth of international cricket matches.
Wow.
Each with detailed records of every ball bowled and every shot played.
Okay.
This data is then fed into a powerful tool called a deep neural network.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. For our listeners who might not be familiar with deep neural networks, could you explain what they are and why they're so useful in this context?
Of course. Imagine a computer program that learns in a way similar to the human brain.
Okay.
It takes in vast amounts of information, identifies patterns,
Uh-huh.
and then uses those patterns to make predictions.
Okay.
That's essentially what a deep neural network does.
Yeah.
In this case, it's learning the patterns of how different batsmen react to different bowlers in game situations.
So it's like having a superpowered cricket analyst who can process years of data and identify tendencies that even the most experienced coaches might miss.
Exactly.
But how do they define shot type in a way that a computer can understand?
That's a great question. They go beyond simply looking at the final location of the ball.
Right.
Instead, they divide the cricket field into 16 zones.
Okay.
And combine that with 3 levels of aggression:
Okay.
defensive, neutral, and aggressive.
Okay.
This creates a more nuanced understanding of the batsman's intent.
So even if a defensive shot ends up going for a boundary because of clever placement, the model can still recognize that the batsman's intention was to defend, not attack.
Right.
That's incredibly insightful.
Exactly. It's about understanding the strategy behind the shot, not just the outcome.
Right.
And by incorporating this level of detail, the researchers are able to make remarkably accurate predictions about a batsman's shot selection.
Now, you mentioned the importance of personalized features in this research. Can you explain what those are and why they're so crucial for making accurate predictions?
Absolutely. Personalized features are all about understanding the unique tendencies and strengths of each individual player.
Okay.
The model isn't just looking at general trends in cricket. It's taking into account the individual nuances of each player's game.
So it recognizes that Ben Stokes has a different batting style than, say, Joe Root,
Yes.
and it incorporates those individual differences into its predictions.
Precisely. The researchers achieved this by analyzing the previous 500 deliveries faced by each batsman and bowler. This creates a dynamic profile that evolves as they play more matches,
Okay.
allowing the model to capture their individual styles and preferences with remarkable accuracy.
That's incredibly impressive. And they actually tested this model using data from a very high-stakes match,
Yes.
the 2019 Cricket World Cup final.
Yes, and to really demonstrate the power of their model, they focused on that nail-biting final over where England needed 9 runs from the last 3 balls with Ben Stokes facing Trent Boult.
Okay, I remember that match vividly.
Yeah.
The tension was incredible.
Yeah.
What did their model reveal about that specific situation?
Well, remember that moment when Boult bowled that attempted Yorker that ended up as a full toss?
Of course, Stokes smashed it for 6, bringing England back into the game.
And the researchers' model predicted that outcome based on Stokes' personal tendencies, Boult's bowling style, and the intense pressure of that game situation. The model suggested that Stokes was highly likely to go for a big shot in that exact zone.
That's fascinating. So it wasn't just luck or a moment of brilliance from Stokes. The model was suggesting that it was a statistically likely outcome based on all the factors at play.
Exactly. It's like the model was able to read Stokes' mind, or at least anticipate his intentions, based on his past behavior and the circumstances of the game. And the researchers took their analysis even further. They didn't just look at that one crucial delivery. They actually simulated a whole range of deliveries that Boult could have bowled and predicted Stokes' likely responses.
So they were essentially creating a what-if scenario, exploring how different bowling choices might have affected the outcome of that.
Precisely. They wanted to understand not just what happened, but what could have happened. And their findings were quite insightful. For example, they discovered that simply bowling Yorker after Yorker might not have been the best strategy.
That's surprising. I would think a well-executed Yorker would be very difficult to score off. Why would the model suggest otherwise?
Because it takes into account the dynamic interplay between bowler, batsman, and game situation. While a Yorker can be effective, the model suggests that in that specific situation with Stokes, already in an aggressive mindset, it might have actually increased his chances of connecting for a boundary.
So the pressure of needing 9 runs from 3 balls might have made Stokes more likely to take a risk on a Yorker, even though it's a difficult delivery to hit.
Exactly. And by recognizing that dynamic, the New Zealand captain might have considered a more varied approach, perhaps mixing in some slower deliveries or bowling at different lines and lengths to keep Stokes guessing.
It really highlights the complexity of the game and how even seemingly obvious choices can have unexpected consequences.
And that's where this kind of AI-powered analysis can be so valuable. It can help us understand those nuances and make more informed decisions.
Now, so far, we've been focusing primarily on how the model analyzes a batsman's tendencies, but the researchers also emphasize the importance of personalized features for each bowler, not just the batsman.
That's an important point. Just as each batsman has a unique style, so does each bowler. And incorporating those individual nuances into the model can lead to even more accurate predictions.
So it's not just about looking at a generic fast bowler or spin bowler, but understanding the specific strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies of each individual bowler.
Exactly. For instance, they simulated how Stokes might approach deliveries from Lockie Ferguson, a right-arm fast bowler known for his speed.
Okay, so we're comparing a right-arm fast bowler like Ferguson to a left-arm fast bowler like Bolt. What did the model reveal about these contrasting matchups?
The model predicted some fascinating differences in Stokes' likely shot selection, even when facing similar deliveries from Bolt and Ferguson. Even when Ferguson bowled from around the wicket mimicking the angle of a left-arm bowler, the model anticipated a different response from Stokes.
So even though the deliveries might appear similar on paper, the model recognized that Ferguson's unique style and the angle from which he bowls would likely elicit a distinct response from Stokes.
Precisely. It highlights how crucial it is to consider not just the type of delivery, but also the individual bowler delivering it. And this is where personalized features really shine.
This is really insightful. We're moving beyond simply analyzing data and towards a deeper understanding of the individual players and their complex interactions on the field.
Absolutely. And this research shows how AI can be a powerful tool for achieving that level of understanding.
Now this leads us to a broader question. Could this technology actually change the game itself?
It's certainly possible. As this kind of technology becomes more widely adopted, we might see a shift towards more data-driven strategies in cricket. Teams could use these predictions to make more informed decisions about everything from bowling changes and field placements to batting orders.
It's fascinating to think about how this research could impact the future of cricket. Could it lead to a more strategic, almost chess-like approach to the game?
I think it has the potential to do so. We might see a greater emphasis on pre-match planning, with teams using these models to develop tailored strategies for specific opponents and match situations. And during the game, captains could use real-time predictions to make more informed tactical decisions.
It's like we're moving from a game of instinct and intuition to a game of data and analysis, with AI serving as a powerful tool to enhance decision-making.
Right. But it's important to remember that AI is not meant to replace human skill and judgment. It's about augmenting those abilities, providing coaches and players with deeper insights to help them make better decisions.
This reminds me of how computers have revolutionized chess. They haven't made the game obsolete. They've pushed players to reach new levels of strategic thinking.
That's a great analogy. And just as in chess, the introduction of AI in cricket could lead to a fascinating evolution of the game.
I wonder how this technology might affect the players themselves. Do you think we'll see bowlers becoming less predictable in their approach, trying to avoid falling into patterns that the AI could easily recognize?
That's a very real possibility. As bowlers become aware of this technology, they'll likely try to make themselves less predictable. We might see more variation in deliveries, more emphasis on disguising their intentions, and more focus on disrupting the batsman's rhythm.
And on the batting side, do you think we might see players developing new and innovative shots to exploit weaknesses in the AI's predictions?
Absolutely. Just as bowlers will try to outsmart the AI, so will batsmen. They'll analyze the data, look for patterns, and try to come up with ways to counter the strategies suggested by the models. It could lead to a fascinating arms race between technology and human ingenuity.
This is truly fascinating. It seems like this research is opening up a whole new frontier in the world of cricket, blurring the lines between data analysis, strategic thinking, and athletic performance.
Exactly. And it's this intersection of technology and human skill that makes it so exciting. Cricket has always been a game of strategy and adaptation, and now with the help of AI, we're entering a new era where those aspects of the game will be pushed to even greater heights.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. It's amazing to see how computer science is being used not just to analyze the game, but to change the way it's played and understood.
I agree, and I think this is just the beginning. As AI technology continues to advance, we can expect even more groundbreaking applications in the world of sports.
And speaking of groundbreaking applications, the researchers also highlight how this model could be used to improve the way cricket is umpired. Let's delve into that aspect a bit further.
That's an important area to explore. The researchers suggest that this model could be used to assist umpires in making more accurate decisions, especially when it comes to controversial calls like LBW.
Okay, for our listeners who might not be familiar with cricket, can you quickly explain what LBW is and why it's often such a difficult decision for umpires to make?
Certainly, LBW is a rule that states a batsman can be given out if the ball hits their leg, and the umpire believes the ball would have hit the wickets if the leg hadn't been in the way. It's a complex rule with many factors to consider: the angle of the ball, the position of the batsman, the impact on the pad, and the projected path of the ball.
So it's not just about whether the ball hit the leg, it's about a whole series of judgments that the umpire has to make in a split second.
Precisely. And that's why LBW decisions are often controversial. It's very difficult for an umpire to assess all those factors accurately in real time, especially with the speed and spin of the ball in modern cricket.
And this is where the AI model comes in.
Yes. The researchers propose that the model, with its ability to analyze vast amounts of data and predict the trajectory of the ball, could be used to provide umpires with additional information to help them make more informed LBW decisions.
So imagine a system where the umpire can get a real-time analysis of the ball's path, showing whether it would have hit the wickets or not. It could potentially eliminate a lot of the guesswork and controversies surrounding LBW decisions.
Exactly. It's not about replacing umpires. It's about giving them the tools to make more accurate and consistent decisions, ultimately improving the fairness and integrity of the game.
This is a really interesting application of the research. It shows how AI can be used not just to analyze and predict the game, but also to enhance the decision-making processes within the sport.
I agree. And it's a great example of how technology can be used to complement human judgment, leading to a more objective and equitable outcome.
This deep dive has been truly eye-opening. We've explored how AI can be used to predict shots, inform strategies, and even assist with umpiring decisions. It seems like the possibilities are endless.
I believe they are. And as research in this field continues to advance, we can expect even more innovative applications of AI in the world of cricket.
It sounds like this technology has the potential to elevate the game to a whole new level, both in terms of strategy and skill.
I think that's a very apt observation. It's almost as if we're witnessing the dawn of a new era in cricket where data and analytics will play an increasingly vital role.
And as we wrap up our deep dive into this research, what are some of the key takeaways that our listeners should keep in mind?
Well, I think one of the most significant takeaways is the power of personalized data in understanding and predicting human behavior, even in a complex and dynamic setting like a cricket match. The model's ability to learn individual player tendencies and adapt to changing game situations is truly remarkable.
So we're moving beyond simply analyzing aggregate data and towards a more granular understanding of how individual players influence the game.
Exactly. And this shift has profound implications not just for cricket, but for any field where human performance is a key factor.
It makes me wonder about the potential applications of this technology in other sports. Could we see similar models being developed for football, basketball, or even tennis?
I believe it's only a matter of time. The principles underlying this research are applicable to a wide range of sports. We might see AI being used to analyze player movements, predict shot selection, and even design personalized training programs.
It's an exciting prospect, to say the least. But as we embrace these technological advancements, it's also important to consider the potential downsides. Could this level of analysis and prediction make sports too predictable, too calculated?
That's a valid concern. If everyone has access to the same data and the same predictive models, it could potentially lead to a homogenization of strategies with everyone playing the same way. But I also believe that human ingenuity will find ways to adapt and innovate.
So you envision a kind of ongoing arms race between data analysis and human creativity, with each side pushing the other to new levels of performance.
Precisely. And I think that dynamic is what will ultimately keep sports exciting and unpredictable, even in the age of AI. There will always be room for the unexpected, the brilliant improvisation, the moment of magic that defies all predictions.
This deep dive has been incredibly illuminating. It's given us a glimpse into the future of sports, where data and AI will play an increasingly important role, but where human skill and passion will always remain at the heart of the game.
I couldn't have put it better myself. It's a future full of possibilities, and I'm eager to see how it unfolds.